Boris Becker was a fascinated onlooker as Novak Djokovic battled hard but had his comeback interrupted by world number 5 Dominic Thiem in the Monte Carlo Open third round. Despite a 5-7, 6-2, 6-3 defeat, Becker believes that the returning Djokovic has made the right choice in turning back to his former co-coach, Marian Vajda. This is high praise from the German, because he clearly does not rate a lot of those who do that job on the professional circuit. I'd like to think I know a lot about the sport. I know a lot of coaches, I'm not going to name them, but believe me, only a few really understand the game, he said. Becker is part of the burgeoning club of Djokovic ex-coaches, whose number was added to recently by Andre Agassi and Radek Stepanek. This week was an improvement for the Serb, and Becker, with whom he enjoyed so much success, thinks it was right to ditch his part-time arrangement with Agassi. After I saw him play badly in Miami, I felt a change was necessary. I know Marian very well, he is one of the best coaches I've ever worked with. He and Novak have had a close relationship for many years. Ultimately only the two people know why it worked or why it didn't work with Agassi. It didn't help that Novak didn't play for a long time, so it was hard to get enough practice sessions in. The coach has to adapt to the player, not the other way around. The coach has to outsmart the player and tell him things he doesn't know or doesn't want to hear. I think Marian does that very well. Novak is not a computer that you press a button and he's going to do it. He is very smart and you have to convince him and explain to him why it's important to do it. Once he gets it, he becomes like a machine. But he is first and foremost a very independent personality. Becker's skepticism around those who work with players extends to the trend of supercoaches who often tend to dip in and out. He himself was a regular presence when he and Djokovic were racking up Grand Slam titles. I don't believe in coaching from the sofa or online. You have to be hands-on, by the court, you have to understand tennis as of now. You can't do that from home, you have to smell the locker room. I don't care how big a name you are. Carlos Moya is a big-name coach, but he is around all the time with Rafa. I remember when Ivan coached Andy, he was around a lot, at the start, that's why it worked. I believe you can only do it on the court and in the locker rooms. Becker was in Monaco to be presented by Prince Albert, on behalf of the International Tennis Hall of Fame, with a signet ring to acknowledge his achievements. There is a debate within the game at present about how much leeway players should have in being allowed to express frustrations or get angry. This week has seen Jared Donaldson square up to an umpire, and on Thursday Roberto Bautista came close to disqualification when he swiped away a ball that hit a bulkhead after a bounce. If you want to compare it to Formula 1, if it is safe and sound and nothing happens, people call it a boring race, observed Becker. If there's an accident on the first corner, people think it's good entertainment. There is a fine line. I know Roberto and he is a fair player, but it can happen in the heat of the moment. You can hit the ball and it goes in the wrong direction. I've seen Donaldson and I think he crossed the line. That is not right. I thought if he had done that to me he'd be running still. We want to see players care. I brought a lot of emotions to the game. I think it's important to see that they care, to leave it all out there. Spectators respect it. Some of the young players today, I don't see if they care. You might call it coolness, but I'd like to see them with more heart and soul out there, and they would benefit the most. Becker revealed that both male and female players have approached him about working with them, but said he had too many projects on the go. His financial worries have been well documented, as has the apparent loss of some of his tennis trophies. Asked about them, he insisted that he could not talk about them and that related matters had been blown out of proportion.